Greetings, my friends. It's hard to shock me. Spent 20 years mostly with the Marines, listening to vile conversations and vile jokes and being exposed to a lot of bad stuff. Grew up in the ghetto, exposed to a lot of bad stuff. Been on social media for 10 years, bringing you things day in and day out, exposed to a lot of terrible things that I don't want to be exposed to, but as a anointed and called watchman and pastor, I have to do it because my job is to report the news to you, not just jive news or feel good news or the junk news that most Christians report, but actual news that impacts your eternity, whether you go to heaven or not, and let you know the current state of the world, because the mainstream media won't give it to you. And most Christians don't want to hear it anyways because they're just so watered down. It's ridiculous. And they're backslidden and useless to Christ and to anything that Christ wants us to do. But this is one thing where I was actually shocked. It takes a lot to shock me. This actually shocked me. And this is unbelievable. See the actual thumbnail, the born again Christian, a play on words for a born again Christian. A famous evangelical pastor just said that porn is actually good for Christians and that the Bible is not clear about S-H-I-T. Such blasphemy and heresy, unbelievable. Here's some more commentaries that I pulled offline on this topic, the actual note that I pulled offline, the wording on this topic. This is what the pastor said, a famous evangelical pastor of a megachurch. There are issues of justice and exploitation within the porn industry, of course, no question. But it doesn't mean that consumption of pornography should be shamed. There is ethically sourced porn. So pornography is women who are being paid to have sex, and I would have to venture, I don't know them personally, I have to venture though from the stories that I've read on the tragedy of this and the ruined lives of these actresses, that probably 99% of them are ashamed of what they do, and they're being abused, they're being exploited, they're being used, they're being perverted. But this pastor says it's cool. It's cool. And the pastor also says the Bible is not clear, again, about S-H-I-T, that people are hungry for religion and that spirituality, and for spirituality that isn't utter bull, S-H-I-T. The pastor went on to say, you can draw a straight F-U-C blank I-N-G line from what people were told in church and the harm it causes in their lives. And again, the word rhymes with ducking, like you're ducking from something. And this is a famous evangelical pastor that said this. Now, I'm just dumbfounded that people will follow this person to start with, and that they would listen to this and entertain this. But again, I told you years ago, I saw actually in my actual town, a large evangelical church, I saw on the news where the biggest porn star in the world, a man, went and preached from the pulpit, several sermons, asked people in the congregation to raise their hand if they had read his porn autobiography, and they wanted him to sign their book. They wanted him to sign their copies of the books that they had at home. He told them, bring them in, we'll sign them. Took pictures. He said that porn and God and Jesus and Christians all go together, and the only Christians that are prudes don't agree with that adultery is cool with married couples and fornication is cool with Christians. And again, this junk is being taught over the last few years. This happened a couple of years ago, and it's just getting ridiculous now. We've got a huge evangelical pastor, a famous one from a megachurch, that's putting this baloney out there. Porn is a dangerous, 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 dangerous thing. It's terrible for Christians, non-Christians, for anybody. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible lifestyle to be involved in. You're abused, you're used, you're exploited. It's horrendous. I mean, it's just terrible what's going on. Unbelievable. We're living in the last days, my friends. We're living in the last of the last of the last days. And time is truly short. And Christ is about to snatch his true bride out of here. And for the rest of the church, I mean, who are backslidden, they're going to be left behind, along with all the unsaved. And by the way, this pastor that said this, to make it even worse to me, in my opinion, is a woman pastor, which makes it even worse. who is endorsing pornography where women are getting abused. Well, men are as well in other types of porn, gay porn and stuff, but in straight porn, it's women, and that's the majority of porn. This pastor, by the way, in case you were curious, her name is Nadia Bowles-Weber, and she is a evangelical pastor. It's unbelievable at a megachurch. Unbelievable what's going on. She's a celebrity, and it just makes me sick to my stomach to see what's going on. Bottom line is this: Jesus Christ is about, again, snatch his bride out of this filthy, wicked, purulent cesspool we live in, this hellhole. And if you're not ready, you'll be left behind for 7 pure years of hell, where most human beings will die grotesque, awful, terrible, horrific deaths. Why don't you go through all of that? Jesus Christ is your only hope. If you've never been saved or you're backslidden, pray the prayer, do the 6 steps I have in the box below the video. No one's guaranteed more time in your life. If you like prayer for anything, contact me to pray for you every day without fail. Share this video with everybody you know. If you have a daughter, granddaughter, neighbor, sister, wife, parent, anybody, anyone who has a boy or a girl in their life, share this video and let them know what's going on. The church is asleep, man. Their heads are in the sand. So much junk is being preached from the pulpit. I venture to say that 95 to 99% of churches nowadays in America are garbage, and around most of the world as well. There's revival in China and other places, but the American church is a sad, wicked, Satan-led garbage dump for the most part. It's really, really pathetic. Hardly anyone can find a real church, and many who think they're in a real church, they're not. They're in a junk church. They're too spiritually blind to be able to see it. It is. It's just so sickening and so sad. True Christians, our job is to witness and pray for the lost night and day until we're called home, but by rapture or death. If you're not doing it, do it now. If you are, great. And again, look up, our redemption draweth nigh. We fly soon. May God bless you. Get the word out. Share this video. Have those you share it with, share it, and so on and so on and so on. And look up, True Christians, our redemption draweth nigh. We fly soon. Enjoy this sermon. Pass it on. You won't hear the truth hardly anywhere anymore.